Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick review here finally on the Bear Grylls Basic Survival Kit from Gerber here. Signals on the back work great, so not really much you can say about that. Whistle's another thing, it's pretty hard to screw up, so it works really well as well. It's nice and loud. This little case can hold a little bit of water, although you don't have any water purification tablets or anything like that. So it might be something you want to add to your little survival kit here, just in case. You wouldn't be able to hold a whole lot of water in here, so hopefully you have a water bottle or something with you. The snare wire that it comes with leaves a little bit to be desired. It's pretty small, it's only this long right here. You could maybe get 2 good snares out of it. The more snares you can do, the better. And this is really light, really small stuff, so it wouldn't have taken very much for them to throw in a little bit more. This string here's not too bad. Would have preferred like a 550 cord or something a little bit stronger, something you can pull apart and get the strands from the inside. They just kind of cheaped out a little bit on this. It would have been nice to see something a little bit more high quality, but it still works as intended. It still works really well. This fire steel here, it's not too bad. It does, of course, spark like it's supposed to. You know, it's nothing too fancy. It works really well. It's not too heavy. I think the top of this is a little bit heavier than it needs to be, but it's not too bad. The knife is actually a little bit better than I thought it would be. You would definitely want to have some sort of other knife with you, just because this is so small and you wouldn't be able to process wood or anything like that. Most you'd probably be able to do is maybe cut some of the string and maybe some small branches, but nothing too big. I did sharpen it once and it seemed to sharpen fairly well, so it was a fairly good quality knife. It's just pretty small. Cotton ball, it's just a cotton ball, so it's pretty easy. This wax string, it would have been nice if it was on some sort of like little piece of cardboard or something like that. It seems to fall apart really easily inside the bag, and then you just end up with a whole bunch of bunched up string, but it works fairly well as well. It's not too bad. It's just a little bit of wax string, so it's nothing too fancy. And I just thought I'd show you a quick test here just of the windproof match. So I'll just light it up. Oh, if I can. There we go. So there you go. And there you go. Doesn't blow out very easily. But once it's down to there, it's pretty much done. Yeah, so that's completely done. Okay, so overall I'd say it's not a horrible survival kit, but I'll definitely be replacing most of the pieces in here just with something a little bit more high quality and something that'll actually get me through if I need to actually survive. And I was actually reading through their little survival manual here, and it said that the 4 things you needed for survival were protection, rescue, food, and water. And it didn't really address any of those concerns in the actual survival kit. It had a little bit for food with the snare wire, and you could probably use the wax string as well as this string if you needed to catch some food. It had quite a few different systems for fire. It had the windproof matches and the fire steel as well. Of course, it doesn't really tell you how to use the fire steel in here, so if it was the first time you've ever used one, you'd probably have quite a hard time trying to use it. But it does have bow drill, fire saw, and a car battery. So it does give you some different options, although I don't really know why you would need to use these options. It does say in here as well for signaling that you could use the knife to do some signaling. Well, it says to use a knife. It doesn't necessarily mean this one here. This knife's not really shiny enough to do anything if you were to try and shine someone in the helicopter or something like that. It's not an overly reflective light, so you'd probably need some other form of signaling. So one of the main things it has in here is all about protection, so building shelters, that kind of thing. The only stuff it really has as far as shelters go is the wax string and this string here. But in order to use that, you'd have to break some branches, you'd have to get some spruce boughs, that kind of thing, so that you could make a nice bedding underneath. And you're definitely not going to be able to do that with this little knife. There's no way you'd be able to do it. You'd spend your entire day, well, at least a day, trying to process some of that stuff with this little knife. So it doesn't really address the protection. Doesn't really address the rescue except for the fact that you can make a signal fire with the flint and steel or the windproof matches. It doesn't address the water in any way. There's nothing really to carry water in except for this little case, but there's no way to purify it either, so I don't know if you'd actually want to be drinking out of there. I guess if you needed to, you certainly could. Food, it does have a little bit more information in here at least. It gives you some knots that you can use, and it does show you how to do the snares as well. So it'll show you how to use the snare, and if you needed to, you could use the wax string as well, I guess. Or even this string if you weren't using it for shelter. So overall, it's an okay survival kit, but you would definitely want to add some stuff to it. It's not really what I was expecting from a Bear Grylls product. I thought there'd be a little bit more stuff in there and a little bit more dedicated stuff, especially when they have a little instruction list here and they don't cover half the stuff that's on it. So you could certainly buy it. I do like the case. It's nice and small. Has the waterproof case. I'm just going to change out the string, probably add some more snare wire to it, maybe add some more cotton balls, maybe soak them in Vaseline just so they last a little bit longer. I'll probably take this wax string out. I don't really see a huge need for that. And the windproof matches I'll definitely keep in there because they're always nice to have. And this little knife I'll probably switch out and just make sure I'm carrying my larger knife with me at all times, and probably just use this on a keychain or something like that, just for an everyday use kind of idea. So that's the overall review of the Bear Grylls Basic Survival Kit made by Gerber. Thanks for watching.